What's up, guys? I love baseball, and I've been to so many great moments. I've seen so many awesome home runs. Just some of the best times in my life have been in the ballpark. Today, I just want to show you the top 10 home runs I ever saw in person. So to start off, we have to go back to 1993. Me and my dad took a trip up to Arlington, the old Arlington Stadium, which is 2 stadiums ago. And we were going to go see Cal Ripken. Off chance, maybe Nolan was moving around and we'd see him or something. I don't think we ever did. Of course, his last year, but this was August, right before Nolan retired. But we went to see Cal, my hitting hero, Nolan being the pitching hero. And it was hot. It was a day game, brutally hot outside. Obviously, they have a covered stadium now, but it was open and day game. My dad couldn't even take it. He went back and just started standing underneath the shade. But at the beginning of the game, first inning, no big deal. Second inning, Cal Ripken batting cleanup. He came to the plate in the top of the second, and it was amazing. We literally took this trip, and we never did this. We never did stuff like this. But my dad just said, let's go watch a game up there. Let's go see Cal. We planned it. We went up there, stayed in the hotel the whole bit, just to see Cal. First time I ever saw him in person. And lo and behold, he hit a home run on the first pitch. First pitch I ever saw thrown to Cal, he hit down the left field line. We were sitting in left field, hit it right past us. First pitch I ever saw pitched to him. So that is the number one, the first on the countdown in chronological order. 1993 with my dad watching Cal hit a home run on the first pitch. Here it is.
Gone. It was scoreless in the bottom of the second until Cal leaves the yard. 23rd on the year, 1-0.
So that was amazing. Amazing memory with my dad. Memory of Cal hitting the home run on the first pitch I ever saw thrown to him. You can't write this stuff. You can't make this stuff up. It really happened. Just a magical moment for me. Moving on to 1998. Early in the season, I saw what was kind of going on with this home run race, and it was just so fun. Literally the most favorite summer of my life. Just the best summer I ever had for multiple reasons, but man, that home run race was so fun. I saw that the Cubs, not the Cardinals, but the Cubs were going to be coming to Houston really late in the year for a 3-game set. So I bought tickets for all 3 games early once I saw what was kind of going on. And lo and behold, Sammy's right there with Mac at the end of the season. And it was a blast. The Astrodome was absolutely going crazy. The Astrodome only went through 99, but this was 98. So still in the dome, my favorite place ever. And Sammy coming to town, and I went to those games. And lo and behold, he hits one. And he hit it huge up into the black seats right below the upper deck. In left center, no one hit balls up there. But at the time, they were tied 65-65. So this literally put Sammy ahead 66-65 in the Astrodome. And believe me, everybody there, we're the opposing team. We wanted to see him do it. And after he did it, when he came out for the curtain call, we were chanting, Sammy, Sammy, It was absolutely awesome. Completely sold out, of course. Just complete bedlam, everybody going crazy, standing ovation, just unbelievable. At the time, we didn't know who was going to win. It was 66-65 Sammy at the time. And of course, Big Mac would go ahead and hit 5 more over the next 3 days, and the rest is history. But this is how it played out.
But he kept it out away from Sammy, and there are the targets.
Swung on a miracle! Deep left field, and can you say 66? Sammy's got the home run lead.
that was super magical. Just an awesome moment for me. But fast forward to 2001, we're already in Enron Field in the new stadium. And Barry Bonds is coming to town. In 2001, you know what happened. He's coming to town late in the season. He has 69 home runs. So I buy all the tickets to those games. And we walk him. And we walk him. And we walk him some more. We walk him every time he comes to the plate the whole series. Once again, we are the opposing team, but we want to see him do it. We want to win, but we want to see him do it. But we walked him so much. And, of course, the manager's managing to win games. He's not managing to have us watch history. But come to the last game, and Barry hits one up in the upper deck where almost nobody hits it, way in center field, right center, and hits number 70 to tie Mark McGwire. And, of course, at the time, we didn't know if that would be the last one. We had no idea, but we knew he had tied Mark, and it was just an absolute magical moment. And this is how it played out.
94 strikeouts. Bonds with a drive. Looks like number 70 for Barry Bonds. And it is. Tying the all-time record set in 1998 by Mark McGwire. Barry Bonds hits home run number 70 at Enron Field. He's now homered in every National League park this year. There's his son Nikolai greeting him at home plate.
What an awesome day. Just so fun. Fast forward 2 more years to 2003. Now Minute Maid Park, and Sammy Sosa coming back to town. And we had a corporate event. So we were in the suites. Me and my friend Blaine, I remember, were there. And I think Roger Staubach was in the suite next to us. It was just an awesome night. But we're playing the Cubs. And, of course, I wanted to see Sammy. And Sammy does something that will never happen again, had never happened before. If you know Minute Maid Park, you got the Crawford boxes on the left, which is a semi-easy home run, even though it's a high wall. And then you got the train tracks. A big home run goes up to the train tracks. Well, if you go twice that high, there's a light standard, and the light's at the top of the standard. And Sammy hit a ball that hit the lights. Craziest home run I've ever seen in my life. It would have gone 600 feet, and the stadium was closed, so there wasn't some draft of wind, any of that kind of stuff. But we all know what's going on in those days. But man, no one even came close to hitting a ball like this, twice as high as what is normally a mammoth home run. And the only video I ever found was a guy that recorded it on his TV and posted it just a few years ago on YouTube. And I looked for years to try to find video of this thing just to remember. But he didn't post it all those years. But there's one video up now, and this is how it went.
As long as one we've seen. Here it is. Let's see if he gets any of this. Go higher, up in the lights. Yeah, that ball literally hit up in the lights.
What an awesome memory. Me and my buddy Blaine there, and just watching that Titanic blast. I mean, the place was buzzing for 20 minutes. Like, it didn't stop for 20 minutes. Everybody just freaking out over what they just saw and talking about it. But now fast forward to the next year. This one's a little bit of a cheat. It's not just one home run, but the 2004 All-Star Game was here. And, of course, that means the Home Run Derby was here, 2004. And 2 last-minute scratches happened, and Lance Berkman, hometown hero, and Miguel Tejada ended up entering. And the whole thing ended up being about them. It was absolutely amazing. But we had all the old-time greats. Hank Aaron throwing out the first pitch, just all kinds of 500 home run guys. Reggie, it was just an absolute awesome time. And Lance went berserk. I mean, Tejada won the event, but Lance won the day. Trust me, it was awesome watching him go off. He hit right-handed because of the way the ballpark is constructed, even though he hit most of his home runs left-handed. He's one of the greatest switch hitters of all time. Very underrated. But he entered, and the place was so behind him. It was so fun watching Lance do his thing. And then Tejada ended up just beating him at the end. But what an awesome, awesome night. Just amazing stuff. I'll never forget it. And those home runs were just titanic and so fun to have that event in our park, and I'll never get over it. It was just it was magical. So that one's the next on my list, and here are some of the highlights, including Barry Bonds getting walked and intentionally, which was just so hilarious to start the whole thing.
Hi, Steve Reese. Thank you very much. We are at Minute Maid Park. His coverage of the Home Run Derby continues, as well as the 2004 All-Star Game. And Monday, of course, focused all on the home run hitters. You saw at the top of the show that Mark McGwire spoke, and we'll hear from him a little bit later on. But it was the guys with the bats that are still playing that did the most damage, and leave it to a hometown hero to rev some excitement into the Home Run Derby. Peter Gammons, Harold Reynolds, John Kruk. Let's get to it, find out how this whole thing played out. It has become such a magnificent event, overshadowing the NBA Slam Dunk Contest and any other All-Star festivity. It's the Home Run Contest, and all living members of the 500 Home Run Club in attendance, boys, including the all-time leader, Hank Aaron, who threw out the first pitch.
That was quite a sight, seeing all those men out there.
It was magic. And here's your first contestant. We start with a bang. Barry Bonds steps up. Good move. First pitch, an intentional ball.
Well, little sportsmanship going on here, but Barry didn't disappoint us.
2 home runs. He goes deep to right. Now with 3, and here comes Barry again.
This is no doubter. Look out, Sam Padre Island.
He raised the bar. He finishes the first round with 8 home runs. The hometown hero and one of the 2 replacements participating, Lance Berkman. Only 13 of 142 career homers have come from the right side. He must have known something.
Well, he plays here in this ballpark, you better, but it surprised me to see him go right-handed. I thought for sure he'd go left.
Well, here you see him, and he's got 6, make it 7 home runs, 1 fewer than Bonds, in a good spot to advance to round 2. The other replacement, Miguel Tejada, who takes Jason Giambi's spot, 424 feet.
I had a feeling after the first round he's going to win this whole thing.
Just misses that MasterCard sign, which would have earned somebody in the audience $1 million. Lance Berkman, what a display he put on for the home crowd. His first shot, a rocket, and that was just the beginning, because then he really got into a groove.
Oh, this thing may clear everything. Hello, Corpus Christi. San Antonio, look out.
The Home Run Derby is now officially underway.
Way back to left field, back end. Remember the Alamo.
It was coming. It did come. Remember the Alamo. No switch hitters ever won this. Berkman 10 to get him to the finals. Miguel Tejada had a loud answer as they opened the roof for round 2. There seemed to be a jet stream up there. 451 feet on that shot. His 12th went off the light post.
Well, and they asked me who I wanted. Told them Jim Tony. That's before I knew Mickey was in it.
Yeah, we both jumping on that.
Number 13, closer to the single round record of 14. Number 14 would find the tracks. That ties the single round record. And then Boomer went berserk.
A new record in this home run derby with 15 in 1 round.
He threatened to shatter the all-time 3-round total for the home run derby. So it's Tejada and the hometown hero, Berkman.
You knew the records were going to fall in this ballpark.
You got that sense. Here's the final round. Lance goes first. 2 home runs, 9 outs. He drills his 3rd. Maybe he's going to get on a roll. People started chanting. People started standing. People started screaming. His 4th and final home run. So the bar is at 4 for Tejada, who in round 2 hit 15. He needs 5 to get the win. David Ortiz becomes the cheerleader. A little rub down, Palmero, a little towel work, get that back loose. You don't want to hurt that back. Bang.
Just setting the trend for the American League weekend.
Number 3. Oh, Harold going out on a limb. And then Tejada drills yet another one. This one to the tracks. This one ties Berkman. I don't think ever in the final round has the last guy had the fans rooting against him. That's what happened for Tejada. He was not to be denied. He hits number 5, wins the Derby, sets an all-time Derby record. And he gets a huge hug from the runner-up Berkman as he holds the trophy.
So that was amazing to get to see all that in person. Fast forward to the next year. You know, Astros were finally doing something. Hometown heroes, Andy Pettitte, Roger Clemens had come to town to try to get us a title. And they pitched so awesome both years. 2005 was looking pretty good. and we were in the NLDS against the Braves, and the greatest game ever happened. It was basically 2 games, 18 innings, and I was with my dad at that game. There was some other family as well, but my dad was with me at that game, and it was a torturous game for 9 innings after the 9th inning, but it was the most amazing game of all time I'll ever be able to see in person. So the next 3 home runs on my list were from that one game. Absolutely amazing. And you know, all the 90s, just all through history, we never could do anything when we were in the National League because the Braves, I mean, they won every single year. And they would always knock us out of the playoffs if we got there. Just couldn't do it. Braves were just dominating. We were up against the Braves, NLDS. And we were down 6-1 in the 8th inning. And it just looked hopeless. But somehow we ended up getting the bases loaded. And Lance Berkman comes up to the plate. This is what happened.
It changes.
Swing and a drive, left field. High, Leatherhead turns, it's gone! Grand slam, Berkman!
Man, the place was bedlam. It was 6-5 in the 8th inning. Still didn't know if we had a chance, but boy, we felt like we had some hope. It was just insane. The place was just buzzing after that grand slam in the 8th inning to go just 1 run shy, 6-5. Come 9th inning, it's up to Brad Ausmus. Now, Brad Ausmus, a super light hitting catcher. He's known for his defense, not his hitting. He hit like 3 home runs that whole year. Never hit home runs. Certainly not to left center where this one was going to go. He comes up with 5-6 being the score in the bottom of the 9th. We feel like we're probably going home. Lance Berkman had hit the grand slam, got us right there. But Ausmus, we're like, oh man, this is rough. And then Ausmus hit one, and this is how it unfolded.
Balls and no strikes. Fly ball way back into left center field. And back up into that wall. No, it crashes back off the wall. Ausmus is headed for
It's a homer!
It's a homer!
It's gone!
It's a homer! A delayed call. It came back on the Machad. You thought it was in play.
Oh my gosh!
Home run Ausmus, 6-6 at Minute Maid Park.
This ball maybe hit an inch above that line, left of the 404 mark. Unbelievable!
Boy, I will get a picture of that.
Wow. No, this is not a dramatic team.
Oh my goodness. The place was absolutely nuts. You didn't think it could get any better than that, but it does. But Ausmus hits that home run literally right on top of the line. Just unbelievable. Ties the game in the 9th. But then Houston and Atlanta would go back and forth scoreless for another 9 innings. I can still see my dad just rolling his eyes after every time the inning ended and we didn't score again. It was just torture. Inning after inning after inning, no scoring. The thing would go 18 innings. But in the 15th inning, we look up at the Jumbotron and camera goes out there and shines on a particular individual. Someone who had not pitched in the bullpen in 20 years of his career. It was none other than Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens was in the bullpen. He ends up coming in, but when they showed him on the screen the very first time, the place erupted. It was just like we had this new hope that we were going to lock down this, and we got to try to figure out a way to scratch in a run, which we weren't great at doing. It was a pitching-heavy team with Clemens, Pettit, Oswalt, and the boys, but we were like, oh man, it was just so exciting. We couldn't believe Roger was going to come into this game in the 16th inning and pitch out of the bullpen. He pitched 3 scoreless innings, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Roger Clemens did. Oh man, held them at bay. But bottom of the 9th came. once again, another light hitter. Just, you don't think there's any hope. Chris Burke steps up to the plate. And something I'll literally never forget.
And the pitch. Swinging. Lining it to left. It's gone! It's gone! It's gone! Chris Burke! Holy Toledo! What a way to finish! Chris Burke just purchased the ticket to St. Louis. Look at the modern unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. Walk-off home run in the 18th inning. If I was ranking these in order and not just chronological, that might be the one. With my dad there, 18 innings, this was, 6-hour game or whatever it was, and just the way that ended was about the most magical thing you can ever hope. So you'll notice the late great Hall of Famer Milo Hamilton and the wonderful Alan Ashby on that call. Just could not have been a better time. Just an amazing time, and to hear that call from them. Luckily, I'm not watching these clips while I'm doing this, because I always tear up during these things. So just unbelievable, and those guys were awesome, and just made for an awesome video to watch again. So we went on to play St. Louis. So the next one is going to be my only negative one on the list. It's great for St. Louis fans. Wasn't good for Houston fans, but it was a big home run, and I was there for it. 9th inning, Brad Lidge on the mound. Best closer in the game. He had replaced Billy Wagner for us. And Pujols comes out with 2 outs in the 9th inning. 2 strikes. They were down to 1 strike. We were all jumping up and down saying, we're going to the World Series. Because remember, Houston had never been to the World Series. And I waited my whole life, 40 years, all those years in the Dome, just everything, just never doing it. And then 2005 rolls around. We feel like we're going to do it. Game 5 in our home park, about to shut it down. And then this happened.
0-1 to Pujols. In the air, left field, and Pujols has given St. Louis the lead. A dramatic, towering 3-run home run. Stunned in disbelief here in Houston. A single by Eckstein, a walk to Edmonds, and how about Albert Pujols?
So we didn't score in the 9th, and Houston lost the game. We couldn't believe it. We were like, we are cursed. This team is never going to the World Series. But of course, Game 6, we went back to St. Louis. We beat them pretty handily. Went to the World Series for the first time due to pitching of Clemens, Pettit, and the boys just taking us there at Oswald. But went to the World Series anyways. But at that particular moment, where we were all cheering and going crazy, 1 strike left, and then boom, the place went dead silent after Pujols hit that. I had my Bowman Chrome autograph rookie of his, BGS 9. I bought it for $600. I sold it for $2,600, like right after that. Was just so mad. Fast forward 15 years, that thing's worth $25,000. If I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. But at the moment, didn't want anything to do with Pujols. Next time we went to St. Louis, we beat him. We went to the World Series, so it all was okay. But had to throw that one in there because I was there, and it was a huge home run. But that's the only one that was not fun. And if you'll notice at the end of that clip, you got Clemens and Pettit just going, oh man, sitting next to each other in the dugout. And then you get a clip of Nolan Ryan and Reed Ryan up there in the press box, and doesn't look happy. So that was not a happy one, but just an interesting clip. Oh man, so that is 2005. Of course, we got swept by the White Sox. But hey, we just got to go to the World Series. I got to go to all the games there, or both of them, and super fun time just to be in the World Series. Never thought I'd have that chance. But speaking of the World Series, the final one, 2022. The boys trying to get Dusty Baker his first World Series ring as a manager. And if you'll notice, there's a lot of tie-ins to Dusty here. Sammy with the Cubs, Bonds with the Giants, and then 2022 Astros. all managed by Dusty Baker. So I'm there. I spent about $1,000 just to get standing room only ticket. I said, if I ever, my whole life, 40 something plus years, I'm like, if I ever have a chance to be in the stadium when we win a World Series, I'm gonna go, no matter what it takes. But this was game 6. If we failed, there would be a game 7 at home as well. Could I come up with another $1,000 to put on that? I'm like, I don't know. But late in the game, it's 1-0 Phillies, and I'm starting to get nervous. Having fun, just partying with all the guys there, just having a super fun time, making new friends. I went by myself, and late in the game, here we come in the 6th inning, and Yordan Alvarez comes up to the plate with 2 men on, and here's what happened.
Nothing. On a 2-1, Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Veer leans back. This game is turned upside down.
Oh my goodness. He hit it over the batter's eye in center field. No one's ever done that before or since. He did it in the biggest moment possible. 3-1. And it was a 6th inning, but we just felt like we were going to win it. It just felt like we were going to win it. We had a good bullpen. Presti came in and shut it down in the 9th. Dusty got his ring finally, and it's so cool that Yordan made his way to the end of the dugout to give Dusty the high five. He still had to manage 3 innings, so he wasn't going to get involved in all the craziness, but that was a big one. Dusty was going to win, and that home run was absolutely crazy. Yeah, I don't think there could be a louder stadium, closed stadium ever than that moment when Yordan hit that thing over the moon. Just absolutely incredible. But that is it. That is my top 10 home runs I have ever seen in person. My favorite home runs. Unbelievable. Just not only my favorite home runs, just some of the best days of my entire life. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.